Students, today we are going to learn about the absorption of digested food. So what is meant by absorption means it is the movement of substances from the cavity of gut. So the movement of substances from the cavity of gut into blood or lymph through the epithelial cells is called as absorption. Let us see the digestion of the substances and their end products. For example, you see the proteins. Proteins are hydrolyzed into proteases, proteases into peptones, and peptones into dipeptides. Finally, these dipeptides are converted into amino acids. So, the end products of proteins digestion is amino acids. Similarly, if we see the carbohydrates, carbohydrates are polysaccharides. So there's these polysaccharides are converted into oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are converted into disaccharides. So the disaccharides includes the maltose, sucrose, and lactose. So these disaccharides are finally converted into monosaccharides like glucose, fructose, lactose. So the end products of carbohydrate digestion is glucose, fructose, and lactose, which are commonly called as simple sugars. Similarly, fats. So fats which are present in the form of triglycerides are converted into diglycerides, and diglycerides are converted into monoglycerides. So the end products of fat digestion includes fatty acids and glycerol. Right? Let us see the next one. So these end products are absorbed into what? These end products are absorbed into the blood. Substances, the end products of digestion which are absorbed into the blood are glucose and amino acids. Similarly, the end products which are absorbed into the lymph are glycerol and fatty acids. So, glycerol and fatty acids are absorbed into the lymph. Right. We go for the next one. Let us see how they are absorbed. Right. If we see this one, this is the lumen of the alimentary canal. Okay. This is the epithelium. And this one is the mucosa. And if you see, these are the blood capillaries. So here the substances like glucose are absorbed into this part, which is this is called as the mucosa. This one is the lumen of the gut. This is the blood vessels, or it is absorbed into the lymph. Like similarly fructose. Okay, similarly amino acids, water, and nutrients. Some of the nutrients. All these substances should enter into the mucosa through this epithelium. Okay, this one is the epithelial cells. Again, from the mucosa they are absorbed into the blood. Okay, so this is the sequence. Okay, they are absorbed into the blood. Now let us see how this absorption takes place. Absorption of the substances occurs by passive absorption or passive transport, active transport, simple diffusion, and facilitated diffusion. Let us see the passive transport, active transport, diffusion, and facilitated diffusion. Right. Right. Absorption of the passive absorption. Let us see the passive absorption. So, passive absorption means substances which are present in the high concentrated region enters into the lower concentration region. Okay. So, this passive absorption is nothing but the passive transport also. Right. So, this area, yeah, this area is highly concentrated area. So this one is highly concentrated area, this is the lower concentrated area. So passive absorption is of two types. One is diffusion and one is facilitated diffusion. So if we see the passive absorption, absorption of nutrients from higher concentration region to lower concentrated region without the expenditure of energy. That means here the substances are not at all using any energy for the diffusion. Then we call this one as passive transport. For example, you take the diffusion, it includes osmosis, that means absorption of water. Water absorbed by a process called as osmosis through the simple diffusion. Right. Remember this one, this is the cellular membrane. This is the cellular membrane. This is the phosphate and this is the lipid layers. Remember, bilipid phosphate. The cell membrane is made up of with bilipid phosphate. Remember that this phosphate ion is this one. Phosphate is hydrophilic. That means it allows the substances, it allows the water to pass through them. Okay, right. So the water enters into the water is absorbed by a process called as a diffusion. Okay, water is absorbed by a process called as diffusion. Right. Let us see what are the substances. Now let us go for the passive transport. Right. I'll explain here only the this one active transfer, facilitated diffusion also. In facilitated diffusion, substances are carried from higher concentration to lower concentration by a carrier molecule. By a carrier molecule. If they are carried by a carrier molecule, we call this one as a facilitated diffusion. Right. Let us see the next one. Yeah, this is the active transport, right? So this is the absorption of nutrients from lower concentration to the region of higher concentrated region. So this is the lower concentrated region, this is the higher concentrated region, right? So it is absorption of substances from low concentration to high concentration. So for the movement of these substances they require energy because they are moving against the concentration gradient. You understand that they are moving against the concentration gradient, so they require the energy. So example, if you see absorption of amino acids, monosaccharides like glucose, electrolytes like sodium are transported by a process called as active transport. Let us see the next one. Absorption in different parts of alimentary canal. So we see the absorption of different parts means the small intestine is the chief area of absorption. Why? Because in small intestine you can see the presence of villi. You can see here the villi is present here. Villi increase the surface area of absorption. Okay. Then absorbed materials are incorporated into tissues for their activities. It is called as assimilation. This is important question. What is meant by assimilation? Assimilation means it is the utilization of the absorbed substances by the tissues is called as assimilation. Like undigested food materials like plant fibers, dead bacteria, etc. form the feces. These feces enters into the cecum through ileocecal wall, and this ileocecal wall prevents the backward movement of the feces into the ileum. So where the feces are stored? Feces are temporarily stored in the rectum. This is the rectal part. Right? This is the rectum. Temporarily stored in the rectum and they are eliminated through the anus. This is the anus. And it is called as egestion. Egestion is otherwise called as defecation. Egestion is otherwise called as defecation. Now let us see the absorption of fats. Okay, absorption of fats is very important one. So I missed that one in the previous slide. So I'll go for here. Absorption of fats. This is the lumen of the gut. Okay, this is the intestinal mucosa. And this one is the mucosa. Right. Now I want to seek for the fat molecules. So large, small chain of fats. Small chain of fatty acids are absorbed into the mucosa by diffusion. Okay, small chain of fatty acids are absorbed into the mucosa by diffusion. Okay, then remaining these from here they enter into the blood by another process called as diffusion only. So into the blood. Then what about the long chain of fatty acids? If you remember the long chain of fatty acids, this long chain of fatty acids combines with the bile. Okay, combine with the bile. So when they combine with the bile, they are converted into, they are emulsified. They are emulsified. Emulsified into small fat droplets. Emulsified into small fat droplets. They are called as micelles. Right. These micelles enters into the lumen. This is the mucosa of epithelium by a process called as diffusion. After entering into the micelles enters into the mucosa. In the mucosa, they are coated with a protein. All the micelles are covered with a protein molecules. When they are coated with protein, what we are calling them as? The proteins are called as chylomicrons. So, the micelles coated with proteins are called as chylomicrons. Chylomicrons enters into lacteals by a process called as exocytosis. They enter into the lacteal. From the lacteal, they reaches into the subclavian vein. In the subclavian vein, they react with lipoprotein lipase. An enzyme is present in the blood endothelium of the blood vessels called as lipoprotein lipase, and this lipoprotein lipase converts the chylomicrons into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, these fatty acids and glycerols are stored in the form of neutral fat. Okay, where they are stored in the form of neutral fat means they are stored in the form of neutral fat in the adipocytes, in the liver and adipocytes. Okay, in the liver and adipocytes, they are stored in the form of neutral fat. So this completes about the digestion of the long chain of fatty acids. Right, we go for the next one, digestion of the absorption of substances. Okay, absorption of substances in different parts. Now if you see here the site of absorption, this is the site of absorption, and substances absorbed. Okay, site of absorption and substances absorbed. Let us see the first one, mouth. These are all important for the NEET examination, you have to remember. Mouth. So certain drugs, okay, certain drugs when they comes in contact with the buccal cavity. Okay, second one is stomach. What are the substances absorbed in the stomach? In the stomach we can see water, simple sugars and alcohol. So these are the substances. And small intestine, already we learnt in the small intestine what are the substances absorbed. So end products of digestion. So end products of digestion like glucose, fructose, galactose, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol. And in large intestine, In the large intestine, we can see some minerals, drugs, and water. So this is an important part. Remember this one. Okay. Right. We go for the next one. Disorders. Okay. We are going for the next one. Disorders of the we are going for the next one. Disorders of the digestive system. Let us go for the disorders. What are the disorders present in the digestive system? Right. So disorders includes jaundice. The first one is jaundice. What is jaundice? Jaundice is a disorder of the liver, or simply we can say that disorder of digestive system. So the disorder of digestive system is called as jaundice. So which one is affected means liver. Liver is affected. In the jaundice, the organ that is affected is liver. Right? So what is the why the jaundice is caused? Caused due to viral infection and also some bacteria. Okay. So jaundice is called as is due to accumulation of bile pigments. Okay, accumulation of bile pigments. So accumulation of bile pigments causes jaundice. Symptoms. Symptoms include skin, white part of eye, okay, turns yellow, and feces or stools appears grey in color, or sometimes it is colorless. Okay. Next one, vomiting. You all studied this one. Again, I am repeating. So vomiting means it is throwing away. What it is throwing away? The contents present in the stomach. Throwing away the contents of stomach through mouth is called as vomiting. Then the vomiting center. Where the vomiting center is present? Vomiting center is present in the medulla. Right? Now let us go for the next one. We have two more to go. One is constipation, diarrhea, and indigestion. Okay. Next one will go for the diarrhea. So diarrhea means what? Diarrhea means abnormal bowel movements with increased liquidity in the fecal matter. Simply we can say that the fecal matter is with water, or more water is present in the fecal matter, or we can say this one as the loose motions. Right? So it is mostly caused by bacterial infection. So diarrhea is due to bacterial infection. Okay. So in diarrhea, there will be reduced absorption of water. Remember that one. So from the alimentary canal, the absorption of water will become less. So most of the water is sent out through the fecal matter. Then what are the symptoms of diarrhea? Symptoms includes dehydration. Why? Because the dehydration means because most of the water is lost. So dehydration. Treatment. ORS. The person should be supplied with the ORS. Let us go for the next one. Constipation. Yes. What is meant by constipation? Irregular bowel movement. First one. So irregular bowel movement. Okay. Second one is feces are hard. And retained in the intestine. So they are not at all sent outside. Okay. So their feces are hard and retained in the rectum. And prolonged constipation causes hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. Nothing but piles with. Okay. Next one, indigestion. Indigestion. What is meant by indigestion? Food is not properly digested. Okay, food is not at all digested. Food is not properly digested. And the person feels always full. Feeling of fullness. Reasons for indigestion. What are the reasons? Reasons might be low enzyme activity, anxiety. A person is having anxiety also, the food is not at all digested, and eating more spicy food. More spicy food. Okay, dear students, I'm going to stop now because still we have neural control of digestion, protein energy malnutrition is there, and also list of vitamins also I'm going to give you, and I'll take one more class. Okay, tomorrow most probably I'll do that one, and I'll complete the topic of digestion and absorption, and after that we'll go for this topic what we call breathing and exchange of gases. Okay, so take this one, and after completion of the next class we'll conduct one more examination on complete digestion and absorption. Right, have a nice day. Thank you, ma.